Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown, the largest international curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you decided to join us to watch some of the top teams from around the world participate in this event. My name is Jesse Hamonic, and I'm the Vice President and Country Head of Nutrien Ag Solutions Canada. Like farming, curling brings our communities together, and Nutrien Ag Solutions is committed to promoting the diversity of sport within the communities where we work and live. We're so grateful to the Western Showdown team for allowing us to partner with them to bring you this event, and I want to wish you all, the teams, a safe and successful event.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown. We're so glad you've decided to join us to come see some of the world's best curlers participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director for RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're also proud to support the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown, as RBC is committed to working with our community to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the community in which we live. Thank you to everyone on the organizing committee for putting this great event together, and on behalf of RBC Dominion Securities, enjoy the tournament.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Hello and welcome inside the Innovation Credit Union iPlex in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. You are watching the World Curling Tour on curlingzone.com. Today is Draw 15 of the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown, and we are featuring a Pool D matchup between 2-1 rink of Amber Holland, curling out of Kronau, Saskatchewan, taking on the Minneapolis-based team of Sarah Anderson, currently sitting at 1 win and 2 losses. My name is Josh Huzek. I'm joined alongside Joao Cardozo, and we're excited to bring you this game here. We got 62 people watching already. Welcome into the live stream.
Well, welcome. Thank you for the introduction, Josh.
No problem. My pleasure as always. It's an exciting game. Both of these teams still hoping to make a reach for the playoffs here. I don't believe Sarah Anderson's out of the water quite yet. A win here and a Hurleman loss might get her her way into the post group stage. And Amber Holland is winning in, and she's moving on to the playoffs starting in Draw 16 tomorrow, or later tonight. Sorry, mistake.
Maybe we should do an introduction of the teams, Josh. Well, let's start with Team Anderson. So Sarah Anderson as skip. Then we have Taylor Anderson as the third, Lexi Lanigan as second, and Lee Yavro as lead. On Team Holland, we have Amber Holland as skip, Team Schneider third, Jill Springer as second, and Debbie Luzinski as lead. And I believe we are about to see second to last stone on this first end, Josh.
This is just the second end starting here. We are on 2 second rocks here in the second end. We're starting a bit late, but still here nonetheless. Sarah Anderson comes into this game ranked 35th in the World Curling Tour rankings. Amber Holland a bit lower at 71. Keep in mind, Amber Holland these days doesn't leave her home province of Saskatchewan as much as she might have at some point in her career. Of course, she's been skipping a Saskatchewan-based rink since 1991. So she's been around the block once or twice, and nowadays tends to stay around home. So don't let her world ranking fool you, and I don't think most teams have, as she's sitting at 2-1 so far in the event. One loss so far only, and it was to Isabella Rana of Sweden. As the second end continues here. This is Amber Holland's second. This is Jill Springer. Gets rid of the corner guard there and rolls on to the 12-foot. Solid shot. And Sarah Anderson's going to be content to replace a corner guard there. As we see the rocks coming down. This is the American third, I believe. Might be mistaken. Give me a second to see it come down.
Okay.
Of course, we're joining this game a little bit late. We're still learning on the spot. And that's a well-placed corner guard there. Oh, let's see if it's going to slip. And it'll stop just above the rings. Can't get much closer than that. And Amber Holland might ignore that one.
Yeah, that corner guard doesn't cover anything, Josh. See how Team Holland responds here.
No. This is the Holland third, Kim Schneider. In the hack.
We're starting the back end stones already.
Solid release. This is Debbie Lazinski and Jill Springer on the scrub.
It's important to mention that it is Team Anderson with a hammer, so
That is true. So Amber Holland trying to bring a little more play towards the center here. Don't want to let the Anderson team utilize that corner guard too much. Didn't feel the need to take it out. There wasn't a great way to peel that without a risk of a jam there. Maybe that's a bit what played into her
yes.
decision there.
Yes, I guess you're right. It's a bit tight on the right. And I think now we'll be seeing, obviously, I think this is Taylor Anderson,
This is the third Taylor Anderson.
So we're going to be seeing her trying to attempt hit and roll. Let's see if she can pull it off.
Curling early. She's not going to make a roll on it.
Curling.
She might be able to make a double there at the back, and she will.
Yep. It's a good result. Double takeout.
I think Amber Holland's pretty content to leave this end with force, though. She's not playing anything too aggressive. No real steel rocks in the rings right now against this Anderson team. This is Kim Schneider again, throwing her second at the second end. Trying to kill this red counter. Roll out to the wing a little bit. Maybe make these open hits a little bit tougher on the Anderson team. Though at this level, you wouldn't expect any big misses on anything like this. This is curling a little bit more than they'd like it to, and they're going to nose that one.
But it's going to stay. So there's no double, so
it will stay, yet it's going to leave Anderson the chance to roll behind that corner, and the decision to leave that corner guard there might be a tricky one if Taylor Anderson can make this roll properly.
yeah. Skip stones, Josh.
This is still one more third stone. This is Taylor Anderson's
Yeah,
last.
this is the last one from the device from
This one's got a curl. This is Lexi Lanigan trying to make this
the
move.
curl.
Just catches a piece of that yellow.
Needs
Able to
curl
kill it, but will roll out as well. Team's still learning the ice earlier in this draw. Here comes the skip from Kronau, Saskatchewan. Amber Holland. It's curled out of Kronau, Saskatchewan for a good while in her career. Tiny town just outside Regina. Home of about 300, 400 people, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I wouldn't know, Josh.
This is my forte, the Saskatchewan Curlers.
It's a bit far from my home.
We got a Portuguese man and a good old Saskatchewan man on the call for you guys today.
Well,
So we're gonna see.
The first time for me commenting at this time of night over here, because it's past midnight in Portugal.
It's past midnight in Portugal. That's dedication right there.
Well,
Curling after dark if you're watching from Portugal. This is Amber Holland's first stone here in the second end.
it needs to get into the house.
Bring that one in just to the side of the 4. Just top tee. Well thrown rock by Amber.
Great brushing from.
I was going to say
Springer
that.
and Mazinski.
I was going to say that Kronau Curling Club in Kronau, Saskatchewan. One of the smaller rinks I've ever played at. It's a beautiful club. Very small. Not a lot of banners in there, but one of the few banners in there is the 2011 Scotties Tournament of Hearts Championship banner, which sits atop the lounge in the upper level of that rink. And it's quite an oddity to see a rink with a rarity of banners, but the only one up there is such a high-profile banner. She's got the provincial championship banner from that year, right alongside the Scotties Tournament of Hearts banner. I think she went on to grab a silver medal at that World Championships in 2011. Also, the last time a Saskatchewan team won the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. This is an open hit from the skip, Sarah Anderson on her first. She'll make it no problem. And Amber Holland comes down for her last here in the second end.
Well, you were mentioning the 2011 World Championships. That was against Scotland, if I'm not mistaken. Had you guys
lost to Scotland? I got to be honest, I was 10 years old at the time that World Championship was played. I can't tell you I was watching it that attentively.
Well, on the women's side, I can tell you that it was Germany that won.
Okay.
Open
hit coming down.
Long time ago, we still had Andrea Schopp. Some old timers must recognize the name.
Correct.
Well, I grew up watching these teams, so.
You got some years on me. What I have being across the pond here in Canada, you definitely have on me an experience.
Well, it's mostly through television, Josh. We don't have a lot of curling ice in Portugal. We're looking for help on that. Program is still growing, but it has been a struggle.
This is the skip, Sarah Anderson out of Minneapolis, hoping to make a hit and stick for 1 point here in the second end.
She's being forced.
And she'll make it no problem. It's a single on the board for Sarah Anderson out of Minneapolis. It'll be a 1-0 lead for the Americans as we return. Amber Holland will have the hammer coming up in the third end.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next curling stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea?
Great idea.
Let's talk more about next year. I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Yeah, we're coming back.
Welcome back inside the Innovation Credit Union iPlex in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. You're watching Draw 15 of the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. You just saw Sarah Anderson score a single point in the second end with an open hit. Amber Holland will have the hammer coming here in the third, and it's going to be an exciting end. Amber Holland is averaging a little over 9.5 points a game so far in this event. So we expect some offense from her squad out of Saskatchewan, and we could have an exciting game starting here now.
And they start off by hitting Anderson's rock from Leah Yavro. Gotta get their name right.
And this is the Amber Holland lead. This is Debbie Lazinski with her second rock of the end here. Trying to make a delicate hit and roll here, I believe.
She might.
She looks a touch.
She needs to hold the line. Now he needs to curl a bit.
It's looking close. Not going to curl. Probably going to roll out to the wing. And that's a fine option as well. With Hammer trying to build up points over there, but I think Sarah Anderson will have no issue deciding on whether to hit that or not. I think she will.
Yeah, she needs to hit that, try to roll it, and get the game back into the center.
This is the American second coming up here, Lexi Lanigan, from this team out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Tracking a bit wide here. Not sure if he's going to get the roll she wants.
This is going to be a nose hit. Looks like it. Yeah, it's
just barely a touch off nose, hangs on to the rings, yep.
Still biting as well, so it's not too bad.
In the hack now is Jill Springer. Jill Springer is also very well trained in the mixed doubles competition. She plays mixed doubles with her now husband, Garrett Springer, I believe. And it was only a few years ago when they won the Saskatchewan Mixed Doubles Provincial Championships. Made an appearance at the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championships. Of course, Jill now playing with this Amber Holland rink. Hit is made. And rolls a touch in. Maybe just a rock's length. Garrett Springer, her husband, now skips his own team out of Saskatoon.
Well, the primary objective, Josh, was to get that rock out, so she got it. Could have rolled a bit more, but that's okay.
Yeah, we're playing a pretty passive end. Amber Holland might not be too eager to put a ton of points on the board here, being in an odd-numbered end, even though it is early. She doesn't feel the need to force anything. This could be a close roll here. Not going to get totally under the center guard. That brings the play back to the middle.
This puts some pressure on Team Holland to Team Anderson this time. See if they. No, this is Team Holland, obviously. Team Holland, see if they can roll it behind the guard.
Yeah, I don't think Amber Holland's too eager to get behind that center guard. I think it looks like she's playing pretty passively. Doesn't feel the need to score a deuce here. If she can keep the hammer, she'd be happy. This one is curling a little more than she'd like for the roll outside. She's going to just about nose it. Maybe roll a half rock to the wing on the outturn side there. And that brings up the American third, Taylor Anderson. Pretty slow playing first couple ends here between these two teams, feeling each other out. This is a big game for both these teams. Still
Must win.
with playoff hopes. Yeah, must win for both these teams, really. A loss for Amber Holland could very well knock her out of playoff position. The women's event on this side is split into 5 groups of 5, I believe. And the top 2 teams from each group will advance to the playoffs starting tonight at 9 p.m. local time. I'm not going to ask you what time that is in Portugal.
It's around 4 a.m.
My money is that you're probably not calling that game, hey?
No. I hope to be in bed by then. I'll follow the results tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Another open hit.
This end is going along nicely.
Nothing too crazy.
Aggressive play.
That was Kim Schneider with her first.
Both teams testing out the hits, trying to see who blinks first.
Well, I think Amber Holland's definitely confident in her ability to score a deuce. I don't think it's my prediction, but if she could, she'd probably take the hammer straight to the 8th if she could and score a deuce there. Take the win that way. But I don't think Amber Holland feels the need to force anything, especially in an odd-numbered end. She has her confidence. She's been around the block once or twice. And this hit and roll.
There you go.
Trying to be made very well. Wow.
Perfect roll.
Beautiful. And Amber Holland has no hesitation calling the run back for Kim Schneider.
Trying to open up.
This is the first big shot of this game we've seen so far. It's been mostly open draws, open hits so far. But Kim Schneider attempting this run back double.
Needs to curl a bit.
She's a little bit outside. I don't know if it's going to come up for her.
It ends up just being a peel.
Yeah, a little bit off there, a little bit wide.
Now let's see if Taylor Anderson can now put a guard.
Yeah, you think she'd be pretty keen to replace it. Skip rock's coming up now. Amber Holland's going to have one chance at that run back before she is forced to a single point.
And again, as you said, it's an even-ended even end, so an odd end, sorry, and there's no need to worry about having the hammer for the even ends yet. It's very early in the game.
It is still early, yes. It's a full draw of 6 games here in Swift Current. The final non-playoff draw. We have 3 games on the women's side, which will determine the final playoff positions in the women's event. And on the men's side, we have 3 C qualifier games going on. We'll update you on how the other games on the ice are going after the 4th end break in our game, and keep you updated past then.
Can't see
center
the
guard
rock,
from
but
Sarah Anderson.
This needs to curl a bit more, looks to me.
Looks like it's going to be pretty
perfectly
good from Sarah
placed.
Anderson.
There might be seen from the left side, but ever so slightly.
We'll see what Amber Holland likes here.
Well, do you think
she's
she'll
gonna
try the run
and
back?
Make an aggressive play. I think she's going to draw here. Outturn draw from Amber Holland. Try and get around everything. That red counter up there is still just only top 8. You're definitely able to get around that. And
she'll try.
In a game so far where Sarah Anderson hasn't thrown many draws, I think Amber Holland would be very happy to make Sarah Anderson outdraw her to hold Amber to 1. So we'll see. This is a big shot from Amber Holland here. The skip from Kronau.
Let's see how she does.
And here it comes. Draw around 2 reds. One is a center guard, about a 2. And one is sitting top 8, perfectly lined up. Trying to get around them both into the 4-foot.
Needs to go in the 4-foot. Line looks good.
It's curling now.
Maybe curling a bit too much now.
Curling a bit too much. It's slowing down a lot on these sweepers. They need to get it to shot rock.
It's shot rock, but slightly.
It's shot rock, but it's completely accessible to Sarah Anderson here. She'll be content to hit that one and leave Amber Holland with a force, and especially on a draw like that where Amber Holland just barely got shot rock over one in the top 8. She'll be happy to make Amber throw another draw here. If she can just roll out a touch, she can force Amber Holland into a new spot on the intern side, which is a spot that hasn't been thrown this end yet. Which would, you'd assume, what she'd like to do here.
Let's see how Sarah Anderson responds.
We have 182 viewers watching on YouTube. Rick, hello to Rick in the chat. If you're watching us on YouTube, say hi in the chat. We'd be glad to see you. Happy to be calling this game. Did you guys watch the final non-playoff draw here at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown? As I say that, here's Sarah Anderson with her final rock of the 3rd end.
Let's see if the line's good. Needs to curl a bit more.
Looks very close, starting to move now. She'll want a slight roll to the outside. She's giving it soft weight here, very manageable.
Oh, and that's not the intended goal.
Maybe a little too soft from Sarah Anderson there. She'll knock Amber Holland
there you go.
Just into back tee, and Amber Holland will have a wide open out-turn draw. Same shot she just threw for her 2 points. Just a bit of a misjudge there.
It was. There's also the opportunity to hit, to sit, to score 2, but I don't think she'll do it. I think she'll draw.
She just threw the same path, same draw. I think she feels comfortable with it. So here it comes, Amber Holland. Final rock here in the 3rd end with hammer, trailing by 1 to the American team Sarah Anderson, hoping to hit the full 8-foot for her deuce.
Line looks good. Doesn't need to put it straight on the button. A bit wider than before.
Sweepers seem to like it.
Needs to stop now. And it's going to stop. Oh.
It'll sit down just in the back 8. That'll be good enough for her 2
good
points.
Good enough, yeah. It's good enough. 2
Amber
points.
Holland will lead it 2-1 when we return at the Western Showdown. Sarah Anderson of Minneapolis will have the hammer when we come back.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
Welcome back inside the Innovation Credit Union iPlex in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. You're watching Draw 15 of the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown between Sarah Anderson and Amber Holland. It was a soft deuce from Amber Holland in the third end that ended up with her scoring her 2 and taking a 2-1 lead. As we enter the fourth, Sarah Anderson out of Minneapolis, Minnesota will now have hammer. This is Amber Holland's lead, Debbie Lazinski, throwing her second shot. And once again, we're looking at start of a pretty open end.
No guards.
No guards, and a bit of an overcurl on that hit. She'll get rid of the red counter and roll right out.
And we'll have an open house for Leah Yavro.
And looks like it's going to stay an open house as it's a guard coming for Yavro. Trying to generate some offenses, the Sarah Anderson team. She had a pretty good setup last end and a tough miss from the skip. Just not able to kill the Holland counter on Sarah Anderson's last. Led to an open draw, full 8-foot for 2, and Amber Holland doesn't miss those very often. So we're back here.
Sarah Anderson was just a bit light on the weight, and can't help that with the sweepers.
Yeah, decided to throw manageable weight at an open hit, which is normally fine as long as you don't underthrow it, which is exactly what she did. Underthrew it, knocked the counter to back tee, and rolled open for an open out-turn draw, which Amber Holland made no problem. This is Jill Springer now, the second for this Amber Holland team. Saskatchewan-based team, you can imagine she has some fans out supporting her in Swift Current. Looking for the center guard here, as Amber Holland's going to look to apply some pressure here in a game where she's been pretty content just to take what comes at her so far, but she
needs to curl.
It's going to leave it just a bit off the center line. And Sarah Anderson will be content to come around this corner guard. This is Lexi Lanigan with her first.
Let's see if she can draw around the guard.
Sweepers on it a bit early. They seem to like the weight. This has got a curl though, and it's starting to now.
Curling a lot, Josh.
I think she's got it by the guard. It's a little bit heavy, and Amber Holland's going to get up there to sweep it.
Might go all the way out. There you go.
And right through the rings.
Unfortunate for Lexi Lanigan.
Well, that's the tough way to miss it, is tight and heavy, where you don't want to go for it for weight, but you kind of got to go for it for line, and ends up getting by the guard on that one, but can't stick in the rings, and Amber Holland will have a free draw behind this yellow center guard, which is a touch off the center line, but still usable nonetheless. This is Jill Springer with her second.
And suddenly, with hammer, Sarah Anderson is in a bit of a conundrum here in this fourth end.
Yeah, they've played a pretty solid game so far. Nonetheless, it's been a pretty slow game that's come to them, really. A lot of open hits, a lot of open draws. But a couple tough misses here or there have let the Amber Holland team slip in and take a lead. This one looks like it might slide back, too.
It also is a bit heavy, but I think it will stop in the 8th end. Yeah, Stopped in
Jill
the
Springer
4.
will stop about a quarter in the 8-foot, 3/4 in the 4. And Sarah Anderson doesn't like that center guard up there. She's going to try and get rid of it. And maybe roll to a bite of the 12-foot underneath that corner guard. Might be there.
This would be Lexi Lanigan's last stone in descent.
Sweepers on it early.
It's almost a nose hit.
It's going to be a run back, and she's going to get both
Double
of them.
takeout, good.
But the tough part about that shot is she left that red as a better center guard than Jill Springer threw herself.
True.
So we'll see. Amber Holland will try and get around that one now, and it's probably a nicer one to get around. This is Kim Schneider.
Yep. We start with the backhand stones.
One other game on the ice inside these two teams group, which is Pool C. That's Isabella Rana, who is undefeated so far, taking on Corey Hurleman of Switzerland.
And Isabella played an amazing Europeans, getting Sweden all the way to the playoffs.
And she's undefeated here in Swift Current so far, so a win by Rana is what would help Sarah Anderson. If Sarah Anderson can win here tonight, a loss by Corey Hurleman puts the Anderson team into a three-way tie for second place in Pool C. And that's how they keep their playoff hopes alive.
They're not out yet.
No.
They're trailing by 1 point, so it's pretty much under control still.
This is the American third, Taylor Anderson.
We're going to try yet another run back.
This one's curling a lot on her.
Oh.
Okay, get a piece of that yellow. Get rid of it. Roll off to the side. That was a really solid shot by Taylor Anderson.
Context remains more or less the same. There's still two guards. No Anderson stones inside the house. And Anderson really would like to have at least one there.
Now, she's not mad about this setup, though. She's content to keep coming around these guards. The Andersons team's having a bit of struggle of sticking these run backs. And that's the only way they're going to generate a deuce here, the way they're playing right now. Aggressively throwing these run backs. This is Kim Schneider with her second of the fourth end here.
Trying to get the perfect draw.
Needs to curl a lot right now. It's going to hit the curl soon enough here.
It's curling a lot when it slows down near the house.
That's what we've seen so far this week. It's been a really nice sheet of ice in Swift Current so far. That one's going to be wide open, though, and it's going to leave Sarah Anderson a big opportunity to hit it and roll behind that corner guard out on the out-turn side.
This was the opportunity that they were waiting for. Let's see if they
right in
can
front of them.
capitalize on this. Taylor Anderson to throw.
It's been really nice ice here in Swift Current so far this week, as it always is. I've had the pleasure of playing in Swift Current a number of times. Love the staff there. Ice makers are always friendly. And it's a beautiful rink, not only to play on, but to watch on. To watch at, rather.
I think the line is perfect, Josh.
Just not enough of a roll.
Should have curled a bit more. Well, I don't think Team Holland will be too unhappy about this result.
No, she'll have her own hit and roll to throw here.
There you go. You see Kim Schneider holding the broom and Hammer Holland heading to the hack.
You gotta think it's also a bit of an advantage for Amber Holland being from Saskatchewan. She's most likely played on this ice here at Swift Current. Obviously, it's never going to be exactly the same as it was the last time you were at the rink, but you think she knows a bit more of how the ice plays here?
There's always the added pressure of playing in front of their own crowd.
That's true as well. Swift Current Curling Club also part of the Iplex.
Oh, it's curling a
Yeah,
lot.
this one's curling a lot. I'm not sure if it's going to stick along in the rings. It'll sit probably in the top back 12 here, as it will.
Back 12. Well, it's shot stone as it is.
The Iplex here in Swift Current, of course, also home to the Western Hockey League Swift Current Broncos. Very storied hockey team in Swift Current. Home of lots of Hall of Fame caliber players like Joe Sakic was once a Bronco. I don't know how much my Portuguese friend has on hockey knowledge.
Well, Josh, I couldn't help you with that.
Curling is about as Canadian as he gets, I guess.
Well, I think I can probably name 1 or 2 ice hockey players.
I bet that's better than most Portuguese people I know.
Wayne Gretzky, I think that's
Wayne
one that.
Gretzky, there you go.
I think that's about as far as my hockey knowledge goes.
There might be about as many soccer players as I could name. So.
Well, yeah. Well, I could name a few of the Canadian team.
Here's the American skip, Sarah Anderson. Hoping to make a draw underneath this corner guard, I believe. She's ignoring that yellow in the back 12 there.
She needs to make it.
Yeah, she's locking herself into with this shot is she's either going to score a deuce or she's going to get forced. Assuming she makes her last shot, right? She's eliminating the chance of a blank here is what I'm trying to say. This one needs to curl a lot. This is about the same spot that Kim Schneider threw hers in. And that one didn't curl as much as she wanted it to.
We're watching an amazing... Oh, it's in the end it really actually does, but it's still wide open.
Definitely wide open from the hack. And Amber Holland will be content to hit that open one. As long as she sits somewhere in the rings, it'll be a force at worst.
Yes.
And so far in these opening ends, it really looks like Amber Holland has total control of this game. But playing quite passively, not making any big moves, and in a game where it seems like she's been able to get away with a couple misses from the Anderson team, that's maybe the way to play here. You don't want to jumble anything up and risk yourself hurting yourself at all. I think she feels confident in her draw weight and her hits. And we'll see if that holds up on this one.
Well, Josh, I think it's the little mistakes that get you. It's not that
That's
any
true.
team has completely failed here in any of their throws. Oh,
wow.
And this hits the guard. And, well, I'll have to eat my own words, because this was unfortunate for Amber Holland here. And with this, Sarah Anderson now has a draw for 2.
Yeah, an uncharacteristic miss from the Saskatchewan skip. Just kissing the guard. I thought she might have had a chance to get by, but is just going to nick it. And it's going to be a draw. She's got to just touch the 8-foot for 2. And she'll be able to take the lead back here going into the 4th end break.
Still a bit of pressure, though. And Josh, I think we have Jill Springer's mom-in-law on the commentary.
Let's take a look. She in the chat?
I think we do.
Thanks for the commentary. Jill is an avid horseback rider and is going to get a new horse this month in time for Christmas. That's awesome to hear. I cannot say I know how to ride a horse, but I think that is awesome. So she's a dual sport athlete. I don't know if you can call horseback riding a sport. It depends, I guess, what level you do it. You can do like equestrian
You
stuff.
could do dressage and things like that.
That's true. That's true.
It's an
As Sarah
Olympic
Anderson
sport.
makes this draw for 2.
And that's 2 for Team Anderson.
So it'll be a 3-2 lead for the Americans out of Minneapolis as we hit recess here at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown.
I've got the bill.
Well, now I've got the tip.
Standard tip increased 2% this year.
That's why I keep you around. So, corn's looking great.
Well, our crop plan is working.
And we locked in that input financing at the perfect time.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea?
Great idea.
Let's talk more about next year. I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
Welcome back inside the Innovation Credit Union iPlex. We are here for draw 15 at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. It is a 3-2 lead for Minneapolis's Sarah Anderson over Amber Holland of Kronau, Saskatchewan. And we have a final to report after only 4 ends. It was the Swiss team, from Geneva, Switzerland, taking a 7-2 decision over Ryland Kleider out of the Nutana in Saskatoon. It'll be Yannick Schwaller moving on to the playoffs later. And that's our first final. We'll take a quick round the rings, check on all the scores after, but it's Yannick Schwaller taking a 7-2 win over Kleider on the men's side.
Unexpected, Josh, and well, European semifinalist, silver medalist. Tough game for Team Kleider.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yannick Schwaller, a great team. I was able to commentate them earlier today. They took a tough loss to Mike McEwen in what was a really tightly contested game in the B final.
In this game, Team Holland is sitting 2. Or so it looks.
Looks like Holland's sitting 2. I agree with you on that. Might not be for long. Sarah Anderson's going to be content to hit this open yellow.
Yeah, it's far too early to in the end to speculate on what's the score going to be. But so far so good for Team Holland. Oh, and this is curling far too much. Oh,
And she's just going to nick that yellow over. It looks like it
was enough.
Only one yellow now.
It was enough to put it behind the red, but only just slightly.
That was the American second, Lexi Lanigan. This is now the Saskatchewan second, Jill Springer. She's going for an out turn here.
Well, looking to add pressure.
I think this is looking for a... Her broom's just above the tee line there. I didn't see what the call was specifically. It's got to curl a little bit more than it is now, and that's what Kim Schneider's looking for there with the scrub.
Maybe the idea was to freeze it, but no.
Just about a rock behind tee, maybe a rock and a half. But it'll set up a pretty natural double here for the Americans. This is Lexi Lanigan looking to make up for her last missed hit with a double here.
See if she can pull it off. Getting set to throw.
Yeah, we'll see here. Interesting, the Americans ignoring the jumble up front they got with the center guard and the 2 up there. This looks like it's curling.
1 and 2.
She'll make the double and spill up a bit. It'll be the American sitting shot rock with Amber Holland second.
Never so slightly.
Amber Holland with hammer, content to keep this yellow shooter in the wings. She can with the hit here. Interesting, the Americans staying away from the center with that trifecta of guards up there. Not risking anything coming around there. This is Jill Springer's second rock. And she's going to let go of this one. In-turn hit, nothing too crazy. But they have been curling a little bit more lately out here.
The line looks good. It's going to be a nose hit.
It's going to curl up a bit at the end. Solid shot, and it's Amber Holland sitting one now, or sitting two, sorry, excuse me.
Oh yeah. As we get into the back end of this fifth end.
We're up to 221 viewers on YouTube. Thanks for watching on youtube.com/user/curlingzone. It's a pleasure to be calling this game for you on a Saturday night. It was a nice Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, I guess, in Saskatchewan today. The sun was shining, at least where I am in the province. I assume it was nice in Portugal.
Pretty okay. It's I won't tell you the weather. It's a bit warmer than in Saskatchewan, that's for sure.
I'll tell you what, I'm not going to complain no matter what it is in Portugal. It is beautiful for Saskatchewan December right now. There is no snow on the ground where I am.
Well, we could use some of your ice, and we can send some of our sun over there. Let's do a trade.
Wonderful.
And as we speak, Team Anderson has managed to get a stone in the bottom of the 4-foot.
They do get it there behind cover. It is back 4, so not the most threatening rock to this Amber Holland team. It looks like she's trying to push this yellow in the top 12 back a touch. I'm not sure if she wants to get it back dead frozen on there or just into the 4-foot. It looked like she was calling just back line weight maybe for her third, Kim Schneider. Here's the third for the team out of Kronau.
Maybe they're trying to raise because the line is very...
It's close. It's curling a little bit now. It's going to be very close here to get by that top red guard. They'll just squeak by it.
Good shot.
Beautiful shot by Kim Schneider. Just slide behind T-line. Maybe just a touch heavier than expected, but I mean, a half-foot lighter and you're crashing on that top red guard on that line, so made it about as good as she could.
Let's see what Sarah Anderson asks her team to do now. It's going to be Taylor Anderson throwing.
She'll be content to draw frozen to that yellow. That yellow did get pushed behind the tee line. So if she can get frozen, she'd take it. I think anywhere behind cover and shot rock is pretty good for this American team. She lets it go, and they are hard on this one out of her hand.
Oh, it's very wide. Needs
Wide,
to curl
maybe
a lot.
A touch light.
It's going to be light.
Yeah, that's pretty bad miss there. Not a lot of, not terribly close.
It closes the left side completely. Well,
I think Amber Holland can still get around there. It's just an extra guard for Amber Holland. It is a little bit difficult on the American team. You're right there. It does cut off that draw. Basically, almost to get to shot rock, it's very tough now. And Kim Schneider's final rock in the 5th end comes up.
Let's see, I think we'll be seeing Team Holland here increasing the pressure, putting another stone within the 4-foot.
Here's the release, the in-turn draw. Trying to make it around that wide red corner now.
Needs
this
to
one
curl.
Looks a little bit heavy.
And the left side is not curling.
Yeah, and that's a...
It's going to go across the house.
That's a tough miss from Kim Schneider there. But an opening now for the Americans. Sarah Anderson will try to get to a shot rock. And try and get right to the face of that yellow counter just behind Tia on the button there. Grabbing about half of the button. It's going to be tough to generate a deuce here as we enter skip rocks. for Amber, or
For Team Holland, you mean? Yep.
well, we'll see how this rock
It's not
ends up, I
impossible.
guess.
It depends on this execution.
Yeah, I was speaking under the assumption that Anderson had hammer, which is incorrect.
Let's see how Sarah Anderson does on her first rock in this fifth end. She's going to try to draw around and sit on top of Team Holland's stone in the forefoot. She was light with her draw. I think it was in the second end. So let's see if she's doing better now.
Well, here's Sarah Anderson with her first rock of the fifth end.
Immediately a lot of brushing.
The sweeper's on it immediately again, and looks like they've let off, thinking it's not close again.
Oh, it's curling too much. It closes the possibility of a second raise. So there's that.
Amber Holland still seems to like this intern side. If she can get to second shot rock, she'd be looking pretty good here. Even shot rock she can get from there, I think.
Well, she left 2 attempts likely at that. Because Sarah Anderson cannot close both sides with 1 rock.
So here's the Saskatchewan-based skip. Amber Holland heading down to the other side.
This will be her first stone on the fifth end.
She trails by 1, but with the hammer.
Some discussion going with sweepers.
Yeah, I think just a little bit of second guessing on where to put the broom. Maybe just tighten it up a touch, I think. But either way, here's Amber Holland.
Let's see. It's looking good. It needs to hold the line.
Line does look good.
Needs past the garden. It does. Now it needs to curl a lot in the last few meters.
Looks like it's going to slide a touch deeper than wanted. It'll sit there for second shot.
I think it's second. It's a great shot. Although below the T line, so that leaves Sarah Anderson with the same line.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a miss there from Amber Holland. Didn't even really need that full 4 even. You wanted to leave that basically as high as you could, really, I think, while still maintaining second shot, not allowing the Anderson team to get in here for a shot or even second. But if she can make this draw perfect, she can get right in between those two, maybe corner frozen on one of them, and sit for shot rock, and it's going to be a tough shot for Amber Holland just to score her single here in the fifth end.
Well, we're seeing Sarah Anderson prepare for a very tough draw. Amber Holland then is sitting 2, and Sarah Anderson really needs to get in the forefoot.
Yeah, and you think on the last one she was
light,
quite light, and now switching to the other side, coming out a bit wider than you normally would for a draw to the center.
I think the line is okay. It's curling a lot.
It's going to get by that top red guard.
It passes the guard. I think now it needs to curl a lot, and we see all 3 sweepers.
Looks like it might be a touch light. They're going to drag it as far as they can, but it's only good enough for third shot.
Good enough for
fourth
third.
Shot, excuse me. And Amber Holland's going to have an out-turn draw for a third point here.
It's a very tough shot nonetheless.
Yeah, and that was sort of the theme of the end, of just pulling the string a little bit. Team Sarah Anderson not quite getting there on their draws. That one was closer than the last two they threw, but still just a touch light, and on a shot where the tolerance probably was to be a little bit heavy. You had the backing there. Just pulled the string a touch, and they're still trying to get their draw weight perfectly down here as we close out the fifth end.
It's strange to see how different ends can go. So on the second hand, we had an end with almost no stones in play, and now look at it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red stones and 3 yellow. So almost all of the stones are in play.
So here's Amber Holland's last rock in the fifth end, down by 1, trying the outturn draw for a score of 3. This could be a big point in breaking this game open here in the fifth end.
Seems perfect, Josh.
It looks good now. Sweeper's going on it for weight for sure. It's getting a little bit tighter now. I don't know if it's going to be there for weight. I don't think it is.
It's light, but the line was excellent. Well,
so
2 points.
2 points for Amber Holland. She'll take a 4-3 lead as we enter the sixth end here in draw 15. We'll be back shortly. Sarah Anderson will have the hammer in the sixth.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Welcome back to Swift Current Saskatchewan. You're watching the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown on curlingzone.com. We have end number 6 starting here between Amber Holland and Sarah Anderson of Minneapolis. It was Amber Holland scoring a deuce in the fifth, and she now leads 4-3 as we enter the final 3 ends of play. And a bit of an open start to this end. Couple open hits, and we're back underway.
Well, and this time around, it's going to be Sarah Anderson with the hammer.
It's true.
Let's see if she can score another 2 points and go ahead in the leaderboard. Well, she does need to win, but also she needs, you were saying, Team Vrana to win. Correct, Josh?
Team Vrana victory goes a long way in helping Team Sarah Anderson to make the playoffs, yes. As you say that, we might as well take a quick look around the rings and see, check out the scores on the other sheets in case you aren't watching every sheet on the ice so far in draw 15. Eunji Kim of South Korea is trailing Kate Cameron of Winnipeg, Manitoba 3-2 after 4 ends of play. It is the Korean rink with hammer in the 5th. The game we were just talking about, Isabella Rana of Sundbyberg, Sweden, is leading tied with Corey Herleman of Zug, Switzerland, 2-2. On the men's side of the event, we had a final between Rylan Kleider and Yannick Schwaller. That one was done after 4 ends, it was. A 7-2 victory for Yannick Schwaller went into the books. Corey Dropkin currently leads Ryan Wiebe of Winnipeg, Manitoba. That game is a 3-2 with Ryan Wiebe having hammer in the 5th. And finally, it is Michael Brunner of Bern, Switzerland, who leads Karsten Sturmey out of the Saville Club in Edmonton. That is a 4-3 game in the 5th. Michael Brunner of Switzerland has the hammer. Mouthful. I got to take a deep breath as we continue to watch the 6th end.
Well, Josh, the good thing for Team Anderson is that Team Vrana can still win. So, and they can still win this game as well. 1 point is not a big difference, and they do have hammer.
And a game like this, it's really tough to try and not watch the scoreboards on other sheets when you need other teams to win like that. I think in my competitive curling experience, it's always been when I need another team to lose or win, I focus on winning my game first. Once we've won, I'm content to look at the scoreboards around the rink, but I try not to concern myself with any of that because it can affect your mood, how you play, your first order of business, and especially for Sarah Anderson in a game where it really doesn't matter who wins between Rana and Herleman if they lose this game.
Doesn't win. Yeah.
It doesn't matter at all if she doesn't win, so that's the big thing for the Sarah Anderson team here.
And yet again, in an end where Team Anderson needs to score points, capitalizing on the possession of the hammer, no setup for that.
Well, Anderson doesn't need to score here, especially with the setup she's got here right now. 2 yellows in the rings. That's good enough for a force if we get later in the end. And they'd love to force this Anderson team to a single point. Take the hammer back, tied up in 7. That's a position anybody would take being in a must-win game for her. As
didn't
roll. Amber Holland keeping the action away from that corner red guard. This is the Holland third, Kim Schneider.
Josh, you were mentioning the number of viewers we have watching us right now. And well, I can now confidently say that we have a few from Portugal. So, some people are actually awake at this time of night.
Wonderful. Well, hello to all of our viewers across the pond. As Kim Schneider rolled out on that hit there, and it's going to leave Sarah Anderson a chance to
now she
get under this.
Yeah. She can now build something behind her guard.
This is the younger sister. Her
Taylor.
Twin sister, sorry. This is her twin sister, Taylor Anderson. My mistake. They were originally born in Pennsylvania and curled out of Philadelphia for a while before making the move to Minneapolis.
Well, there's some tradition with twins and curling, especially if you go down to Denmark.
Especially in Saskatchewan. I was just calling the game for the Marsh twins, playing on Team McEwen.
There you go.
And those are a tough pair of twins to tell apart, I'll tell you that much.
This needed to stay in the rings, and it did not.
That draw is going to slide right through, and it's going to leave Amber Holland an out after a tough miss from her third, Kim Schneider. So we do have some information from Curling Zone that Sarah Anderson will sneak into the playoffs in the event of a three-way tie for the last playoff spot in Group C. Sarah Anderson does have the best draw to the button shootout in this group. So definitely adds to the motivation for this Anderson team.
They really need to build something here, though.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to get to the last two ends. Of course, they've been having Hammer in the even ends, but it would be nice to go in front into the 7th.
Yeah, I mean, a deuce here puts you in front by 1 if you can go ahead and force Amber Holland in the 7th. That
There
leaves
you
you
go.
with a golden opportunity to score your single and win the game in the 8th. In a game where both teams have been making some uncharacteristic misses here, there's a lot of opportunities for both squads. And here, when the rings are split and Amber Holland sitting 2, it looks like Sarah Anderson will elect to have her sister draw back underneath that red corner.
There's still the possibility to hide this stone behind the guard. That
Absolutely.
would still be number 1 stone if it's well hidden. It needs to curl a lot more, though.
I think it's curling now. It should be good if she can get the weight there, but it does look a bit light. And it is.
It's light.
We'll stick around for third shot.
Yeah. I was saying number 1, but I, in the best case scenario, it would still be number 2.
And Amber Holland thinking about putting this draw in a spot that cuts off any chance from Sarah Anderson getting underneath those corner guards. She's going to elect to throw an intern, though.
It's looking likely that this will be a force in this end.
Well, the good thing about that shot from Taylor Anderson was that it's essentially a double corner guard now, right? There's still a lot of room to get underneath those corners. And if they can get under there dead buried, those are dangerous rocks underneath there. They are pretty covered and tough to get to. So the skip's deuce is still in play here. Amber Holland well in control of this end, but has to be wary of those. And that's why I was surprised she wasn't putting this in a spot that prevents the Anderson team from getting underneath those. But she seems to have a second thought about it.
Still, it will be Team Holland that will take the initiative here. So, yeah, it's double guard in essence, but still, it will be Team Holland who will likely get a stone behind those two guards.
Well, I'm not sure if she's trying to get all the way behind here. I think the call is just to get, adjacent with it, maybe a touch deeper. Just high enough so that the Anderson rink can't hit and roll behind it, but also blocks off the draw behind. And even if they do wrap one around everything, Amber Holland will have the run back on the one she's throwing here. I believe that's the call. Because after all, if you slide a little bit deep coming around those corners, it just makes the draw for the Anderson team even easier with backing, as well as makes it tougher to remove if they can put one there frozen to the one that Amber Holland's about to throw.
And first stone for Amber Holland is thrown. Let's see where it ends.
This is Springer and Lazinski seem to stop suddenly and look back at the ice.
Not sure if
I think that might have caught something. Maybe a pick there for Amber Holland, and that is a tough spot to have something like that happen. As that just adds more cover in front of these double corner guards now. And a big opportunity for Sarah Anderson to get under there, sit shot rock, and the deuce is not out of play. I think you've been jinxing us quite a bit here.
and if, again, like similarly to the fourth end, also a bit of a miss by Amber Holland gives Team Anderson the possibility for 2 points.
Sure.
But again, let's see. Currently, they're still sitting only the third stone, so nothing's guaranteed. They have a shot though.
Sarah Anderson settles into the hack. This is a big draw. In a game where she's struggled with her draw weight quite a bit, and this back end for the United States team has, as a group, really struggled with their draw weight. She's looking to get back on track here. Put one under these guards, sit shot rock, and really put some pressure on Amber Holland. On her last. So here is the skip out of Minneapolis, Sarah Anderson.
There it goes. Let's see where it ends. She needs to get this stone to be shot stone on the left side behind the two guards.
She's signaling that she's a touch wide, wants it to curl for sure. Sweepers need to go to get this to shot rock.
Needs to go.
And
Great
they'll
shot.
just get shot rock, biting the corner of the forefoot. And Amber Holland's going to take a look at what she has here. She might see a sliver of that red from the hack. It didn't get buried much at all under her own red-colored guards, just maybe 3/4 underneath the yellow that Amber Holland just threw. So the soft weight hit is going to be accessible to her. We'll see if she's going to take it on.
It's not an easy shot though. And
No, we saw Amber Holland just miss a shot similar to this back in the fourth end, which gave Sarah Anderson a deuce. And we'll see she's going to look to make good on it here. This is a different spot, though.
well, if she can make it, obviously she basically disassembles the context that Team Anderson was building to score 2 here, and makes up for her first stone.
There it is.
Let's see the line as it goes into view.
It's moving a lot now. Sweeper's got to stay on it. Now curling. Got to catch enough of this red to get rid of it.
Good.
And she will. Nice throw from Amber Holland. Gets rid of the shot rock, and it's yellow sitting 3 now as Sarah Anderson throws her last. And she'll be forced here, best case scenario for the American team.
So she has 2 options. She can either draw or hit for the 1.
The way the ice is here, it looks like she's taking the draw. Which the skip always wants to throw what she's comfortable with, but drawing against 3 is always scary no matter where the rocks are.
Especially if you need to sit, you need to land within the 4 foot.
Yeah, she's going to need about half in the 4 to score her single point here and tie this game up back at 4. Here's Sarah Anderson, the skip out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, United States, drawing against 3 on the outturn side, trying to score her 1 in the 6th end.
Line looks good. Now let's see about the weight.
Sweeper's really got to go to get this to the 4 foot here. Looks like it's going to come up a touch light.
It's a bit light. It's a bit light. They need to. Oh, and it's 2. No.
It might. I think it might just be 1 yellow.
1 for sure.
It's definitely close though.
1 for sure. Maybe it's just a 1.
That actually is very close. They'll have to take a close look at that one.
Measure?
We might be seeing a measure here. The thirds are taking a look at it.
Might, again, the camera might not be helping our cause, but it might be just a 1. I wouldn't put my money on it, but I would say maybe just a 1.
We'll see. It looks like they're gonna call for the stick here to measure this one.
It's going to be a measure.
A little bit of drama here in the 6th end.
Oh.
If you're watching us on YouTube, feel free to type in the live chat who you think is shot rock, or second shot rather.
Well, Josh, I have nightmares with measurements. I've seen I don't know if any of the viewers here were following the World Mixed Doubles qualifying event that took place in Dumfries last week. Well, Portugal team finished twice with a measurement. We won one of the games though. It's not too bad.
It's always one you hold your breath on.
Oh yeah.
Take a
There we
look
go.
here. They're going to spin it around the long way.
And
It
it's
seems
red.
that is red.
So
It's only going to be a
just
single
one.
for Amber Holland. She'll take a 5-3 lead into the 7th end here in draw 15. Or are they going to measure the second time? No. It'll be a single for Amber Holland. She'll take a 5-3 lead going into the 7th. The Sarah Anderson team out of Minneapolis will have the hammer when we return for 7.
Well,
imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, Bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year. I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back. You're watching the World Curling Tour on curlingzone.com. And draw 15 of the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown here from the iPlex in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. You just saw a steal of 1 from the Amber Holland team out of Kronau, Saskatchewan, resulting in a 2-point lead for her entering the 7th end. It's the Sarah Anderson team out of Minneapolis, Minnesota with the hammer here. And I guess it's time to talk about what's the best way to approach this end for Sarah Anderson. Being down 2 with the hammer, you know, you're sort of in a tough spot where you need 3 points at least to win the game. Do you try and get your deuce here and then hope for the steal in the 8th?
Well, I don't
Or do you
think
blank and try and score a 3?
It's going to be really tough to score a 3 against Amber Holland. So, well, yeah. Get the 2, try to steal in the last end. It's not an easy mission. And just addressing the comment in the chat, so Tim Scholes was saying it should have been 2, or he thought it was 2. It was not Tim, it was just the 1. So Tim, Josh, is part of the Portugal men's team.
Awesome to see some fans and some curlers from all around the world, especially from countries you might expect to be curling nations.
Well, he doesn't have a very Portuguese name, but he does live in Lisbon.
I think I agree with you, though. I think you go for your deuce here, and with the 5 rock rule and the no tick rule, steals are never out of play. You jumble up a bunch in the in front of the rings on the center line and try and steal your way to the win, but The first
Well,
step
they-
is always getting your deuce here, for sure.
I think in the 8th and, well, after they get their 2 in this, well, if they do, but let's assume that Sarah Anderson can get the 2 here. Then she needs to summon her inner mixed doubles player. And in the 8th, try to steal. Because it's not an easy mission.
Yeah, you got to
Curling
start
can
with
be
the
tough.
deuce here, for sure, yeah.
Curling can sometimes be, how should I put it, a bit mean. Because a small mistake in this case, in the 6th end, basically puts you in a very tough situation for the next 2 ends. It is a very lovely and unforgiving game.
This is the American second in the hack, Lexi Lanigan. Joined this team last year. And this team won a bronze medal at the United States National Championships last season as their first year as a team.
We're still growing. They're a good team. Still growing.
Yeah. They're about the 3rd, 4th ranked team in the States right now. There's a lot of good curlers coming out of the States these days, especially. You know, you've seen Corey Dropkin specifically, you know, sort of came out of the shadows at the Tier 2 Grand Slam a couple of years ago and really burst onto the scene as a team to be taken seriously for sure.
U.S. curling has been evolving a lot in these past few years. So it's to be expected that we're starting to get really good teams coming out of that.
And there were spots in the United States where you would maybe least expect them to be curling hotspots, you know, maybe even less than Portugal, spots like California and Arizona and Texas and Florida that now have curling clubs popping up and players who want to learn how to play the sport recreationally and professionally.
Well, yes. Well, I could tell you, for example, our silver medalists in our national mixed doubles were curling out of Sacramento. So there you go. We do also have a Portuguese community in that area, and we hope to grow our numbers there as well. We again, not having home ice, we try to get our athletes our competitive program athletes wherever we can.
I believe the Americans are doing a good job at implementing curling programs into schools, teaching the game to youth, stuff like that. And I think that's one thing that I think the U.S. does as a country very well is promote athletics and grow sports like this very quickly. You've seen it in hockey, in curling. You know, I think
well, definitely
the U.S. If they aren't already a curling powerhouse, they will be very soon.
And you'll see more curling nations emerging in the next few years. The WCF has grown a lot in these past 5 years, and again with this change in leadership, so now the WCF, this is the 2nd year of the new president, Bo Wellington, and yeah, I think we could expect different and good things from the WCF going forward, and curling in general. Not just in Europe, but also in other continents. And as I say this, Team Anderson is in serious trouble, Josh.
Yeah, there's a lot of yellow in the rings. Still opportunities to get behind some red corner guards, but they're going to have to do it quick. As this end is coming around to the back end quickly. As
starting
this is,
to run out of stones to score too.
Yeah, exactly. This is Taylor Anderson in the hack now. Twin sister of the skip, Sarah. You're going to let this one go. Just coming to the center. Trying to maybe touch back this shot rock a touch and sit on top of it. This is curling a lot early. Sweepers are holding it up well.
The line looks
gonna come
good.
close to that
the line
yellow
looks
at
really
the top.
Good.
Gonna bounce
He
off
just
just
touches
behind
it.
that yellow.
But it's not a bad stone at all. finishes, yeah, it's not biting the forefoot, but it's hidden behind one of Team Holland's stones, one of their guards.
Kim Schneider about to throw her final rock of the 7th end here. Kim Schneider's been on this Holland team for 4 years now, joined the team in 2020-2021, and has been going strong since then. The only change to this Amber Holland team this season was the addition of Jill Springer in replacement of Carly Korchinski, who took a step back from the team. As I said, Amber Holland has been skipping some form of her team since 1991, has played with a lot of decorated curlers, including Kay Montgomery, Jolene Campbell, Kathy Overton-Clapham, and more. Kim Schneider actually has a lot of experience playing with Amber Holland back in the mid-2000s to early 2010s as well, before they went separate ways for about 8-10 years before rejoining back again. So definitely some chemistry on this back end for the Holland rink.
Well, second stone for Kim Schneider. Line looks good. Needs to curl.
Starting to move now, as we've seen all game. Late
Curling a
curl
lot
coming
now.
in.
And it should stop. Yes, perfect.
Solid shot from Kim Schneider.
And now Team Anderson can no longer play that double unless they do it via a run back, which would be extremely difficult.
Looks like the Anderson team might be content to get rid of that guard just thrown by Kim Schneider and roll over on top of that yellow, maybe just biting top 12 there, and sit for basically a secondary guard protecting their red rock, which is currently sitting third. I think that's what they're banking on being a counter here if they can generate a multiple point score. Really don't want to be forced here if you're Sarah Anderson. That's about worst case scenario.
Well, if they're forced there, it's going to be it's not mission impossible for the 8th end, but it's mission almost impossible.
Mission almost impossible. I like that. Looks like we had handshakes on another men's sheet. We'll take a look there and see what happened in that one.
There you go. The attempt of a double takeout with the run back.
It was handshakes between Michael Brunner of Bern, Switzerland, and Karsten Sturmey out of the Saville Club in Edmonton, Alberta. An 8-3 final, as Michael Brunner will advance to the playoff round after that decision. Karsten Sturmey will go home with a C final appearance, as we see the final few teams eliminated. On the men's side, only one playoff spot remains, and it will be determined. If I can switch my screen here, it'll be determined between Ryan Weed and Corey Dropkin. Corey Dropkin currently leading that one 4-2 in the 7th end of play over the young rink from Winnipeg, Manitoba, making a good showing here. Skip rocks here in the 7th end. Amber Holland prepares to throw her first.
And the idea might be to put one behind the Team Anderson guard. Just complicate things a little bit more. Again, Amber Holland might be happy to just force Team Anderson to 1 point here.
more than happy to force Team Anderson. As here is Amber Holland, skip from Saskatchewan, throwing her first here in the 7th end. Without the hammer, but up by 2 points. Looks like she's just looking for the centerline guard here, with where Kim Schneider's broom is. Jill Springer taking over the sweep here. Line looks close. They got to go to get this where it needs to be. It's not going to be as deep as they want it.
Barely
And
over
that
the
one is
hog line.
hogged.
It's not. And then once again, just like in the 4th and in the 6th, also here in the 7th, we see the first stone by Amber Holland being, well, in the first 2 instances it was a minor mistake. This one, a hog line violation, and was removed. It didn't go past the hog line, so
You'd expect it's a little bit tough ice to draw on today because of the difficulties both teams have been having. We're up to
Still.
279 viewers on YouTube. Thanks for stopping by, watching the Western Showdown here on the World Curling Tour. Hello to Gavin. Hello to Tim again, Bill, Steve, Rick. Thanks for watching with us. It's been a pleasure calling this game so far, and hopefully we have one more end in both of us. I know it's getting pretty late in Portugal now, if it wasn't before.
it's almost 2 a.m.
It's almost 2 a.m. You have a lot more dedication to this sport than I think I do. Wow.
Well, Josh, I remember, again, there's not a lot of Portuguese commentators over here. We're starting to build a community for that as well. But I remember doing the Olympics, the last one, in the ones that took place in China. It was tough. I was doing games at 4 a.m. most days. So, and then adding off to obviously to work, because this is not my full-time job. So that was a tough month. This is just fun. This is a bit of fun.
Yeah, it reminds me of the days of being a kid and waking up at early hours in the morning during the years where the World Championships were in European countries, and waking up early in the morning, 5, 6 a.m. to watch Canada play.
Well, good news for you. This year you get to do the same thing. Apparently the men's is in Switzerland.
Beautiful.
And if everything goes okay, I'll be there.
Great to hear. I'll have to turn on the Portuguese commentary.
Well, maybe I won't be commenting. I think I have to go there in person for the first time.
Okay.
But who knows?
Well, Amber Holland's settling in for her final rock of the 7th end now.
There we go.
Looking to make a little bit better of that guard. I think she was throwing on her first rock, I believe. We'll see what she's got in her back pocket here.
Team Anderson still has a shot for 2, although
Maybe
it's
not quite.
really
It's
not
definitely
very easy. And
the hit.
now
She's going to
that
nose this red here. Take away the angle run.
Yeah. And if I was Team Anderson, this was the moment where I would start considering my options. There is a diagonal raise there, but it would be a very, very tricky shot.
I don't know if there is one there for shot. Like, to get in there and sit to getting rid of that back one is insanely tough.
Let's just say that if Sarah Anderson was to pull this off, it would be one of those shots that you'd be remembering for life.
I think you might just have to take your one and run back that yellow, just maybe biting. Or maybe she sees, I think she sees enough of this yellow here just outside the forefoot that she can try and make this double.
It's really
not sure.
The margin is minimal.
I'm wondering where she thinks this rock's gonna go.
Because I think it's going to hit her own rock.
Well, it is, no doubt, but I think she's banking on the it's sort of spinning off and catching that one in the back, maybe. This is a real tough shot, and it's one that Missed the wrong way, essentially ends the game. A steal of 2 here for Amber Holland is essentially handshakes. And here comes down the last rush for the skip from Minnesota.
The line looks okay.
It's a little bit tight here.
Swirling a lot. Oh, and
she's going to touch the guard. And it's going to be another steal for Amber Holland.
Yes,
just
it's a
the
steal of 1. And I don't know if this is handshakes.
I don't think so. Anderson will keep the hammer. It'll be a 6-3 lead for Amber Holland when we return. Sarah Anderson of Minneapolis will have the hammer heading into the 8th.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
Welcome back to the land of living skies. We're in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, watching the World Curling Tour on curlingzone.com. Draw 15, the last non-playoff draw of the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. It's a 6-3 lead. Amber Holland of Kronau, Saskatchewan holds over Sarah Anderson of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And it's been all Amber Holland in this back half of the game. 4 unanswered points gives Amber Holland this lead, and it's going to be a 3-spot held over Sarah Anderson's head to keep this game going. And we'll see double corners out of the team from Minnesota early in this 8th end. As you'd expect, they're going to the same side here, which is a little bit different than we've seen most teams here. 4 points gives them the win, 3 pushes it to an extra.
They need a big end in this 8 and last end, Josh. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one in a game where Sarah Anderson has really struggled to generate multiple point opportunities with hammer, as that second corner guard is going to slip into the rings.
Needs to be the perfect end.
Amber Holland will take a look and see if she can get to that. And I think she believes she can. Take a look at how much Jill Springer has from the hack. Maybe about a thin quarter. Maybe a good quarter. But she's going to take this on anyway. Hack weight is the call from Amber Holland. And we'll see if she can get to this. If Jill can get this red out of there, that'll be a really big
shot.
Step towards getting rid of this American team here and knocking them out of the playoffs. That was a tough mistake from the American lead. I believe that was Leah Yavro. This one's a touch wide. Needs to really curl up here. Not sure if it will. Looks like it
Don't
might be
think
just
it
a
will,
touch
Josh.
heavy. And she's going to miss it.
And
Touch overthrown, possibly.
Anderson team gets a break here. So let's see what if they can capitalize on this.
They're going to try and make a hit and roll behind those two corners there. I'm calling that one biting the top 12 a corner. This is Lexi Lanigan throwing her first to the 8th end. And when you need a 3 spot, it's important to get those ones buried and counting in the wings early so that you're not trying to make up shots late in the end with your back end. And this would be a big step towards setting up this multiple point score here. I'm sure Amber Holland won't hesitate to start peeling on her next, no matter where this rock goes. This one needs to curl a long way.
Oh, and it's nose hit
Wow.
almost.
That's going to sit right in front
Not
on the 12-foot,
I
and
don't think
as
this is
predicted,
what
Amber
they
Holland will
wanted.
peel. No, a tough couple shots from the American team there, and not really what they needed starting off an 8th end where they need 3 points. And Jill Springer will get the opportunity to peel this corner guard off and begin, you know, what you'd call the countdown, where you start hitting rocks until the American team doesn't have any left. And with this setup,
Oh, but
she's
it's
got it.
very light. Oh, yeah, she got it.
With this setup, you'd expect the American team needs to make some real big shots to generate anything here. No, not much cover right now. 2 counters in the rings, but they're counting 3rd and 4th shot right now. And they're in a spot where a double isn't impossible. You would have to throw it pretty hard and hit the initial rock pretty thick. But it's not Amber Holland, something that Amber Holland will look at quite yet.
I think we'll be seeing yet another guard being placed here, Josh.
I think they're trying to come straight into the rings.
They're trying to go in.
They're trying to corner freeze that yellow that's just sitting on the top, on the edge of the button there. It looks quite heavy for that, though.
Heavy.
Just gonna bump right off and sit there out in the open.
There's maybe a double here, for sure. And yes.
Amber Holland definitely looking at that nose double, but maybe prioritizes the roll before it.
So we start. So this is still, I think this is Kim Schneider.
This
Looks
is
like.
Kim Schneider, 3rd for the Saskatchewan-based team.
So we are already in the back end.
And they're hard on this one early, trying to hit that back one,
nose
get
hit.
rid of it. Just sneak by that red in the top 12 and hit it right on the nose. It's Amber Holland sitting 3 now. But the American team's got 2 in the rings, 4 more rocks to come. They only need 3 to push this to an extra. So not out of the water yet is Amber Holland. Sarah Anderson's got to try to generate something here, and you almost wonder if she'd ever try and push that yellow back, maybe roll under a corner, but she'll elect for an outturn draw here.
Well, the context hasn't changed that much. She can still try to go inside, because the left yellow is wide open. She can try to do something strange with that. Again,
Well,
not
generally in an 8th end needing a big score, you don't need to kill opposition rocks. It's generally best for you to try and just push them back, leave them as catchers in the back rings. But in an end like this, where they have 2 counters out in front that are just barely hanging on the rings,
there you go.
it's not a good spot for them to do that. They will do just that as they pop that one in there, but it still leaves the double here for Amber Holland,
leaves
which
the
it
double,
looks like she's
yep.
going to take on.
That was what I was trying to hint at, Josh. That yeah, they could try and push the yellow, but I was unsure it would be a good end result because again, now you leave a double. Obviously, one of these two rocks might jam, but I don't think Kim Schneider will will fail this one.
Well, it's a point to the fact that they think that they can score their 3 with the rocks they have left. This one's close for the double, and will
doesn't
get
jam.
contact with both of them, but not kill that second red.
Oh, and the other one didn't go out, so
Looks like it's Holland sitting at least 3. The fourth is
Maybe
close,
4.
but I think it is red. And Sarah Anderson's going to stick to drawing around the center now. This is a team discussion here as we enter. 3 rocks left for the Sarah Anderson team, and you think the way that this end is setting up, they need all these 3 that they're throwing to count.
Yep.
They have those biters on the side, but they got 3 yellows to sort of outcount before they can start thinking about that. And that fourth shot on the intern wing there is not really promotable to anything.
they'll need all 3 stones plus maybe a miss, and it's not looking good, Josh.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need a bit of help from the from Amber Holland here. So here's Taylor Anderson.
She needs basically to remove one of those 3 stones that are left. That's pretty much it. Okay, this is Taylor Anderson. Second and last stone in the 8th end.
Sweepers are hard on this one early.
She's trying to corner freeze it, maybe?
I think
It's
she's just trying to
curling a
put this
lot.
buried, and this is going to wreck on that top yellow there. Push it in for 4th shot, most definitely. And
Yes,
now it's
now
Amber
it's-
Holland sitting 4.
Now it's all of Team Anderson's nightmares putting together.
It's been a
just
bit of a
not going well.
disastrous 8th end for this Anderson team, and it looks like Amber Holland's going to draw right in there to sit 5.
It's unfortunate. None of the things they were trying to accomplish on this end are coming together. Again, we cannot say that this end has gone well, but it's also a bit unnerving because we know that Team Anderson can play better than this.
Well, it's frustrating when it's from the top down. Really, it was that second corner guard that slipped in the rings that started everything. And there's been a couple missed shots from here or there, and a couple tricky calls when you have a couple biters up there. Normally, you'd try to build up some second or third shots on the wings, and it's not what worked out for Anderson this end. They had a couple biters at the top, which weren't very helpful with pushing stuff back.
And we'll see Team Holland put another stone in to add the pressure.
Yeah, exactly. And now that 5th shot, about to be 6th shot here, I believe. Sitting out there in the wings, that's not very promotable for Anderson. This shot for Amber Holland will slide to the back 4. Not a huge problem for Amber. She might be upset at herself a little bit dropping that one deep, but either way, only 2 shots left for this American team, and they need to find a way to get 3 to count.
I would have probably, if I was in Amber Holland's shoes, I would have tried to at least take one of those 3 stones out.
Well, there's so much yellow back there that, like, the only way you really hurt yourself here is by hitting one of those reds and jamming it, right? That's really the only thing bad. I don't really know what the plan is here. I think it looks like Sarah Anderson's going to try and hit this. This might be a heater, and try and get rid of as many yellows as she can in 2 shots, and hope that she can maybe count with the ones that are already in the rings. This is coming down heavy. She's going to
This
try
needs
and get
to
rid of at
be
least a
clear
couple
too.
yellows, maybe 3 if she can. This is going to get ran straight back. Dead jam. No, it's going to roll
It's
out as
2.
well. And yeah, again, Amber Holland, you know, you draw this in, and it's a quad, really, that Sarah Anderson needs to be able to score her 3. So, not terribly in much danger, Amber Holland here. I don't know if the angles are really even there.
This will be your last stone in this 8N.
Depending on where Amber puts this, there might be some kind of angle that they see for some kind of run back. Try to touch all 4 of them, but I don't think all of them are going to go.
It's still going to be a very, very, very tough last stone of the 8N for Sarah Anderson. Let's see if she even has the shot to win the game. Seeing this last stone come in, maybe not.
And it's going to sit just on top of the T line.
And again, maybe no shot.
That's handshakes. Sarah Anderson's not going to throw her last rock. Doesn't see what she needs to, and we're going to throw X's up in the 8. It's going to go down in the books as a 6-3 victory for Amber Holland. She will advance to the playoffs with the 2nd seed out of Group C. Sarah Anderson from Minneapolis, Minnesota will be eliminated in the group stage with a 1-3 record. We want to thank everyone for watching us live on Curling Zone's YouTube channel. It was a pleasure calling this game for you.
Thank you for having me, Josh.
No problem. Thank you for joining me. It was fun. We had a fun time watching the game. And Curling Zone will be back at 9 o'clock tonight for the first draw of the playoffs, so don't miss that. Once again, I've been Josh Uzik, alongside my broadcast partner.
Yeah, with a weird name, João Cardoso. And
thank you for watching, and Curling Zone will be back
everybody.
shortly.
We feed the world with Nutrien, and a large portion of what our job is to get fertilizer out with the carriers so they can get directed to the farms or to the different retail locations. We know that if we don't have the answer to something, we're not afraid to reach out because we have support from everyone. We've got a really good team behind us.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.